And this morning, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. The presidential candidate of the ANC, Mr. Sowore, is here with us. Great to have you. How's it going?
Doing very well. Good morning.
No, just put the microphone such a way that we can hear it. We're not hearing this. No, the speaker is actually here. No, look at it. Yes. Okay, is that it? Good. Oh, good. So we got it now. Great to have you, Mr. Sowore.
Thank you very
Please, so we're sending questions in from diaspora. I've got one full hour and some charm hours on top of this interview with Mr. Show. I'm going to be explosive. There are a lot of things we need to talk face to face.
Yes.
And I've been creating a lot of questions. Like the first question somebody sent to me before now, I created a couple of questions. Is that the reason why you're attacking Peter Obi is because he has taken the youth board you normally used to have in every town. Is that true?
Not at all.
Tell me why. What's happening?
I have been around for a long time. As of 1992, I was a student union president that had 27,000 students on campus at the University of Lagos. We would come out of Lagos, Ibadan, several parts of the country with huge crowds of young people. And in those days, it was dangerous to even be an activist or be involved in street protests. So having done that for 32 years, how on earth would I be worried about anyone who, when I was 22 years old, was nowhere to be found? And this doesn't apply to Peter Obi, it applies to many of the politicians talking about today who are hiding under their bed.
So I say all the other politicians hiding under their bed.
When I was in my 20s, they were hiding under their bed. All of them.
All of them running now.
Yes, except all of them run. There's no politician today. Huh? 1992. Where was he in 1992 when they annulled the election? He ran away.
Everybody ran away.
Yes, all of them.
Ashwaju played a major role.
He did not participate in street protests. I'm talking about street protests now.
Oh, but Ashwaju was harassed and arrested, and they call him the bastion of democracy.
Look, everybody like to call themselves whatever name they wanted. I'm not saying he didn't participate. They participated at the level of Nadeco. They were more of the, administrative office-based, house-based protest leaders, and they had their own. But I'm talking about direct action in Nigeria, in which we were in front of armor tanks on the Korodu Road, and the army would be shelling us and killing people beside us. They weren't there.
So you're saying you have more street cred than all the other
presidents? I mean,
is that what you're saying?
As of, when was it? As of a few months ago, I was sitting protests in Abuja. I was part of it. I started NSAS in Abuja. How could I be jealous of anybody? I know it's political season, like I keep saying. People will say all kinds of things, but different people come from different places. My own history is documented. 32 years. There's nobody who attended the University of Lagos between 1989 and 1995 that didn't know who I was. There's no newspaper reporter in Nigeria that didn't know Sowore in the 90s. Even when I left in 1999 to go to the US, and I popped out through Sahara Reporters, everybody knew it because I practically disrupted the media space in this country using Sahara Reporters.
Another thing they keep saying,
yes,
those are the things they created about it.
Yes.
My interview started, the things they created about it, that why is it that you're saying all of this now? You were once working for those people in opposition. Hang on a minute.
Yes.
That they used to give you facts. That's why Sahara Reporters had all those exclusives they normally give out there. And you had all of it. That you were part of all this. You were part of the establishment and so forth. You worked for them. So why are you now going against it? That things are not going well amongst you? These are some of the concerns people push.
No, it's not true. I've never worked for.
That's why I say you are debunking all the lies.
Of course. Yeah. I've never worked for any establishment. Never.
Who used to send you all those stories you reported on Sahara?
You see, the way Sahara Reporter was set up was that it was for anonymous tips. That's how it started. People just put in information. They send them by emails. I've had emails sent to me before. I said thank you, and the email had been deleted. Just, it's at that purpose. And there are several other ways through which we collected information that I won't share with you because Sahara is still around and we still need to keep those pipelines active.
But a lot of people said those pipelines were these same politicians that were pushing in opposition then against the government.
No, it's not. Look, so many of the people that bring information, I don't know them. I don't care about them. I don't want to know who they are. The information is what is important. What you're trying to paint is that maybe I have like a relationship with certain set of politicians.
That's what people ask.
Yes, I mean, so that's what I'm clearing. No, the goal was to expose corruption. It was to make sure that we got exclusive that nobody had, and we set Sarah up to get that exclusive. To the point that for a long time, nobody even knew I was the one behind Sahara Reporters. Even when they knew I was the one, they didn't know who else was in Sahara. That was why Daily Beast, a very influential US-based newspaper, once described Sahara Reporters as the WikiLeaks of Africa because of some of the stories we broke in those days. And some of them were beneficial to all the politicians. For instance, when Yaradua was sick, nobody knew his health status except Sahara Reporters. In fact, Sahara Reporters was able to prepare the people who were to take over for it by saying, look, this man is brain dead. And that was what happened. Yaradua had died 5 months, brain dead 5 months before he was brought to Nigeria. But even the vice president then, Jonathan, did not know. I will reveal to you today that some people duped him. They duped him. They went and collected money from him that they would get Yaradua's picture in the hospital. And they went and did a Photoshop and gave to him. And I heard he paid $500,000 for it.
But what of that interview? I remember that.
That was a scam. That was a scam.
So the BBC lied? Is that what you're saying?
The lady who did the interview was eventually fired, Tangaza.
Yaradua's voice. So how did that voice come about?
They did everything during Yaradua's time to manipulate, to keep the impression that Yaradua was alive and recovering so that Jonathan will not take over. You remember, just last month, the former military chief of staff at that time, Dambuza, confessed that there was a plan to have a coup. Sahara Reporters, they wanted a coup. It was Sahara Reporters that foiled that coup by revealing that they were planning a coup. It's public information.
So this morning now, you're going to discredit that interview because of that interview arrested people's thoughts.
I have a feeling that BBC has deleted the interview from its website.
Audio footage, right?
Yes. It was a scam. The lady who did it, Tangaza, I think she was arrested for corruption after that. She got a job with the the FCT. She was a BBC person who arranged it. All of it was a scam. There was a lot of scams at that time. And that's why we're different. That's why I'm different. Everybody was cashing out during the Yaradua saga. The House of Representatives.
Apart from you.
Of course, because
but you were on top of the big story. Why were you not cashing out?
I wasn't. I'm not about cashing out. I'm about integrity. I'm about saving the country. I wanted the country to be aware that Yaradua is not coming back, and the proper transition should happen. And I single-handedly followed every lead I could find, every information regarding his health records. They would have killed me if they could find me during that time. The Yaradua cabal, and the other people, the Jonathan people, had no clue what was going on with Yaradua. No clue. They were just tossing them around in Abuja, small boys, and they were running. You were talking about BBC. Did you not hear that during Yaradua's time, they took a budget to Saudi Arabia and signed it, that they claimed that Yaradua signed the budget and brought it back and implemented it in this country? Nigeria is a crime scene, my brother. Crime scene. And all of them got away with it. And of course, several other criminal elements have gotten away with even more heinous crimes against the people of Nigeria. But that's just one example to show to you what integrity can do in the media to the country.
Okay.
Yes.
Somebody, Divine Praise sent a message. Said he's an unstable wind. That's what they're saying about him. Some people will say, okay, in fact, the last time he ran for president.
Yes.
They're like, all of this balls you normally push. Why is that people didn't fall in line? They said people get to 100,000 votes in the last election. Now what happened?
There was no election in 2019.
No, but there were elections.
I'm saying it to you. I ran an election. That was a scam. It was a selection.
No, there were elections.
It was a selection. They just allocated votes to people. That's what they did.
People voted.
Who voted? People voted, but the vote didn't count. That's the problem. They just allocated, they did what they usually do. And the coalition
the Supreme Court ratified.
Supreme Court Is it the first time the Supreme Court will rectify fraud in Nigeria? Was Yaradua came after he won election, that he knew that his election was a scam after the Supreme Court had ratified it. Is it not the Supreme Court that made somebody who was a fourth in Imo governor today? Which Supreme Court are you talking about?
So you said there was no election, that's why you came distant. I don't know the position of, but you didn't get up to 100,000.
There was no election. It was a selection. I'm serious. I swore to an affidavit when I was detained that there was no election. They haven't debunked it.
So a lot of people will now say back and forth that the same crop of youth you used to get, why is it that then you couldn't translate them to votes? And now people are saying it is, it is very unbelievable, let me use the word, that there's a lot of momentum among young people, but they are seeing this year just like going to be the last time for you. That the momentum is not being carried over and it's not translated to votes because you don't have a structure.
I'll say two things to you.
Okay.
Take you back to about 1996 or 97 in Nigeria. Most young people now were not born at that time, or those who were not born were not politically conscious. There was an impression created that all the young people in Nigeria wanted Abacha to continue power. They went to Abuja, had a massive concert, 5 million man march. Every musician in this country was in on it. Shino Peters did not recover from it. Activism, every influencer was, everybody was on it. You know what we did, young people of our time? We went to Yaba and declared our own 5 million man march. As soon as we arrived there, they opened fire on us. But that 5 million man march that we did in Yaba was what saved Nigeria, not their 5 million man march. So you can create an impression, you can contrive support, you can actually bamboozle and brainwash people to say, look, this is where you should be now. But what I'm saying is that we're not there yet to be making declaration that youths are in support of anyone other than the direction they should go. So that's the first one I want to say to you. The second aspect of it is that you see there are youths and there are critical masses of youth as well. And one of the reasons why you should be able to discern the difference is the death of the Queen in the last few days, and how some young people you think were conscious were celebrating the death of the Queen, mourning her. And some other more conscious youths are saying, look, this is the time to start debating colonialism and the theft of African diamonds, slavery, and what our ancestors did. And if we should even continue as members of the Commonwealth, if we are the only people who are common in the Commonwealth. It is that moment that we are reaching now. It's not going to happen overnight. I have always been with the young people, but I'm no longer a youth. I'm 51 years old, but I'm youthful. So it is for me to keep doing what I know is right. And I know that the conscious youth will find their way, they'll find their level at the end of the day. I'm not worried about what you're saying now, because we've always seen so many of it. It's those who are seeing it for the first time that will be bothered. Those of us who have seen several of these things. In the university, it was the coolest thing to be a cultist when I was there. I refused. I said, my own youthfulness is not to attack or kill other young people because of girls. But it was the coolest thing at the University of Lagos, to belong in those groups. But at the point, it wasn't. It was what we did that eventually became the coolest thing to do, fighting for democracy, fighting for students. And that is why young people must listen to all these ideas, not be carried away by fluff. Yeah, we are going to see so many of this. You are going to see young people who say to themselves, I am this. I used to say 4 years ago, It used to be Malians, you don't wear trousers, so you don't wear belts, And then came NSAS, and everybody's like, oh my God, this is not a revolutionary movement. And they start talking about that because young people are impressionable, you must understand. But those who are conscious cannot just fall by, fluff. No, so I'm pretty confident that the youth you are talking about will find their level. They're like water. They find that right level, and that will make it happen at the end. Because nobody thought youth in Nigeria will have NSAS.
Okay.
Yes.
A lot of people keep talking about structure.
Yes.
AAC across 36 states. What's the push like? What do you have on ground? You keep saying you don't have money. That because you're not here to run a money-based campaign, but people argue that you need money. Elections are difficult, they're expensive.
I want to say to you that in 2019, we were the ones saying that structures that are in existence are not real structures. Some of the people who are now agreeing with us used to mock us in those days that, oh, you don't have structures. Because we said the structures of the major legacy political parties, they are transactional structures. They are for purposes of, I rub my back, I rub your back, you rub my back. Those people don't, because they don't have any ideological base. And now, we said to people in 2019, it's the people that are the structure. And that's where we are now. Some of the most exciting political groups now have said the same thing, that they don't need those kind of old structures, that the structures they need are the people. And that the people, when they need to move, we move in the direction of structures that can deliver them from misery. That's where we are now. They've come to that point. They've come to agree with us. With regards to money, yes, money is needed, but we need people more than we need money. Because you can spend all the money in this world to bribe people, and if they don't believe in you, they will leave your money behind and go for what is most intrinsic in their life, values. But to say that we need.
You think the Nigerian voter is there, where he listens to your manifesto and listens to your values, and he votes based on that rather than 5,000, 10,000 naira?
Why are you on radio?
I'm on radio to change that, but do you
Exactly.
honestly know?
Yes.
Correct? There's a difference.
Yes.
Between ideology and reality.
Yes.
Reality now on ground. You think the average voter is there now?
I want to answer by saying we're getting there. And the reason we're getting there is because we have not given up. Yes. Nobody would have been talking about the different political reality in 2022, 23 had there not been NSAS. I'm telling you, especially for young people. It was like, that's the point at which they tasted blood. And they don't want to go back. But would there have been NSAS if people like you and I have not been talking, moralizing on radio, on the internet? If there was no revolution now, for instance, in 2019 after the election, in which the structures you are talking about.
I like you to do that.
Yes. So I want to get there. The structures that fought for revolution now happen in over 26 states. I'm telling you, the structures that can confront armored tank, police, go to jail, they are better structures. They are more solid structures than structures that collect 5,000 during elections. And we have them. Our party have them all over this country. Because revolution now was actually the idea of the AAC. It was AAC's idea. But the moment they saw that AAC made a proposal for revolution now, they went and hijacked the party from me and got me arrested and detained before I could come out of detention. They had claimed that the AAC is now in the hands of a number of reactionaries, which was ended when we won in the Court of Appeal. So these structures, young people that fought during revolution now, are you dispelling them as no structure? Well, of course, they're real structures. The structures that took the risk to dismantle the most notorious police rogue unit in Nigeria through NSAS.
Remember this man.
Wow. Oh no, man, it's good to have him.
You just call him. We'll try to call it here.
Amazing.
And we are also helping to promote his book and what he
Okay.
what he stands for. But before we get him as a transformer, let's talk subsidy.
Yeah.
What's your plan about subsidy?
Subsidy is one of Nigeria's biggest fraud. Before subsidy.
That is the welfare for the guys in the oil industry and their friends and people in government. Reason is that there's a correlation between the whole interest.
Okay.
Or
Just a minute, please. Let's take this. Let's just so that we have. Hello, what's your name? Hello? Hello? What's your name? Where you calling
I think
from?
my headset is not coming through.
Okay. Good morning. Okay, Mr. Musa from Italy. Okay. Where in Italy are you calling us from? Where in Italy are you calling us from? Okay. Thank you so much from Parma in Italy. Talk to me. Talk to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Talk to Mr. Sowore. He's listening to you.
I am here. Thank you very much. Happy Sunday to you, my brother. Thank you.
lesser evil.
So you're calling Peter Obi a lesser evil?
That's what they call it. People support him.
Okay. Subsidy, Sowore. Subsidy.
Subsidy is a scam.
So what are you going to do about it? What's your solution?
The first solution is to revive the refineries, 4 of them that we have, and make sure they are producing at least decent capacity.
Where are you going to get the money from?
Where are we getting money to pay for subsidy? The money that we're using to pay for subsidy in 6 months can fix all the refineries. But you got to give the refineries to people who know how to fix refineries and not mechanics who don't know how to fix refineries. You knew what they did under Obasanjo. 500 million was given to someone who had no idea how to fix bicycles, to fix the refinery, and make our phone. That's how we started.
In how many years are you going to fix this refinery?
It doesn't take a long time. If you are in the right, if you have the right people in the country, it won't take so long. I mean, imagine Niger Delta militants are refining diesel and selling, and the Nigerian state cannot refine kerosene. Niger Delta militants, they have become refiners all around the country and doing very well at it. Why can't the Nigerian state refine its own crude? And we take the crude out. This is a scam. We don't need to even debate it because this is like very transparent scam, by the way.
What are you going to do concerning our national debts? 119% debt to service ratio. We're borrowing to service
This
debt.
is the problem with the national debt is that we're borrowing for consumption. Otherwise, even the national debt as it stands today, the debt to GDP ratio is not bad yet. Our problem is debt to revenue. We're not making enough, and the reason is, of course, we are losing 700,000 barrels of crude oil to thieves. And they're not Niger Delta thieves. I will never call anybody Niger Delta thief. It's the national thieves. The NNPC MD said that people who are stealing those 700,000 per day are in Abuja. That's the truth. And then also mentioning subsidy. The customs man said that it is a lie that we are consuming 60 million liters of oil on a daily basis. So if they are telling you all this, why do you keep bothering those of us who are not part of the scam? That we should not call it a scam or fraud. It is. And until you put these fraudsters in their place, you are not going to have your country back. you can't have a decent country. I said it yesterday, I'll repeat it here again for the first time. The NMPC, it was the first organization to secede from Nigeria. It's a country on its own. Until you bring the NMPC back into Nigeria, you cannot get their revenue to service things you need within Nigeria. It's a behemoth that is sucking life out of the people of Nigeria.
So how would you increase the revenue coming into federal costs?
Well, we have to plug immediately the losses. For instance, if we can catch those thieves who are stealing 700,000 barrels of.
How would you catch them?
Well, they use badges to come into this country. One of them was caught by Equatorial Guinea last week. Those can be stopped immediately.
But they said there was no oil in that badge. That's what they said.
I can tell you a secret today. That it was when the badge got to Equatorial Guinea that they sucked the oil out.
What's your fact on that?
Nobody can dispute that. I'm saying it here, and I can wait till next week. You can call me back if anybody will dispute that. They can't. Because you can imagine that a badge of that size was in Nigeria waters, and they told you the fastest it can go is at starting north, right? They told you that the Navy couldn't catch it until they got to Equatorial Guinea. You should know Nigeria now. That is abracadabra. The more you look, the less you see. Because they wanted to take it out of the country, suck it out to another batch, and then say, well, there's nothing in it. If there's nothing in it, why was it running away?
Okay, so how would you stop this?
The commander-in-chief of the armed forces is the president of the country. The Navy claims as of now that they have sophisticated equipment in place to detect movement of all these big ships. And that's what we're going to do. But we have to, like I said, we have to replace those criminals in the NNPC who collude, or at the presidency who collude.
The NNPC has been commercialized. How do you do that when it's been commercialized?
They commercialize the criminality with it.
So how would you do that since it's been commercialized as a company on its own now?
It's Nigeria's property. It can be renationalized.
This is the same NFPs that's talking about probably sometime in the future they'll go to the market, they'll raise more capital.
Which capital are they raising? Their liability to Nigerian people right now. It doesn't matter what you call them, the format you put them in. The most important thing is that it's a Nigerian oil company. And so it ought to be serving Nigerian people. It's not. Whatever we can do to make it work for Nigerian people is what we will do. All the companies we commercialize, or whatever they did, we are buying them back. The discourse that we're giving out with loans and incentives to all these guys now, Nigeria is taking all those toxic loans back. They are absorbing all the time. All the time we commercialize, we end up paying for the commercialization. Keep up giving loans to the people we commercialize to, okay. And then we take them back again.
Let me take Ambassador Musba. Ambassador Musba, how are you? You want to say something? Yeah, quickly, Ambassador Musba, quickly. Yeah.
Nigeria happened to me now. Very true.
They say you should be in the Senate.
Why do you guys keep
asking?
A
lot of people keep saying that.
Why do you guys keep asking your decent people to go to the Senate? Why do you have
They say you don't have political experience.
President of Nigeria.
They say you don't have political experience. That's what they keep saying.
I'm shocked why you say that I should go to the Senate. Why would I be senator in a country that has Buhari as president when Buhari doesn't even know his level is right?
No, you can't be insulting the president.
No, I'm a citizen of Nigeria.
No, you shouldn't be doing that.
You can sue me for cyber stuff.
Sure, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. Those are the kind of things people say about that. That's unprecedented.
No,
you don't need to make your point with insulting people.
No, it's not.
That's what a lot of people say.
It's the truth. The country bears testimony to the fact that our leaders don't know what they're doing.
But people will argue with you in the long run that, hey, it is they want that presidential person out of you. You can make your points, articulate your points.
No,
People will not argue with you. Not
the
you
president.
know,
The president.
not shutting down their
the pre-
mental capacity,
No,
not
the
saying they are
president-
not good enough. You
The
know,
president of the country is the chief truth seeker and speaker of the country. He's not the person who sugarcoats. You go to Israel, right?
Yeah.
Their president talk about the dignity of their own people, even if they are doing it the wrong way. You go to America, their president speaks truth to their own power there. The
Yes.
president of the US last week had to call out a former president, Donald Trump.
yes,
They called out citizens who were trying to torpedo their democracy.
yes.
You understand? In a national address. So what is unpresidential about saying that some people have ruined us? Some of you are afraid of them. I'm not afraid of Buhari.
you forget, Troy, that these are your electorate. These are people that elect you. They keep saying things like you're arrogant. These are the words that come out of them, and this is a fair assessment.
No. People who
No.
people who are working with
Sure,
people who are working with
sure,
Buhari cannot like me.
I can show you the trail here. You can come and see. Yemi, please just come and turn this trail and let him see it. That's what people are saying. It's not me.
No. You have people in your own audience.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I have people in my own audience. That is why I told you in a private conversation that you people should stop saying that some Nigerian youth have supported a particular candidate because you don't have any scientific basis to prove it.
I mean, I'll agree with you.
Yes.
It's not empirical.
So, yes,
no
but
data.
people just wake up and say,
No data back.
all the young people are supporting this. How many where did you do the poll? Where did we sit down? Which conference did we sit down that all the youths have supported the candidate? It's a fallacy. But you are good at promoting all these fallacies. And I am saying we should stop it. If the president is not doing well, say it.
Call him out on the issue.
Yeah, no. Let me tell
I will
you,
not stop him. Call him out. Call the president out on the issues. But when you start saying mental capacity,
there was a reporter, right? Not a reporter, but an analyst in the US who looked at Judge Bush during the election and said, "You are a functional moron." You understand?
it doesn't make it right.
To make it right.
It doesn't make it
And
right.
because it was the right thing at that time to say, because it was Judge Bush that pushed America into the Iraqi war. See how many lives it cost.
Sure.
Pushed them into Afghanistan. But at that time, it didn't sound like it was the right thing to say. But
Sure.
families of people who died in Iraq and Afghanistan and the money they lost, everybody now adopted it. It became his alias name for a long time.
He had to fight back. He had to get direction from
So
Congress.
what I'm saying is that
and all of that.
I'm not going to sit
I'm
down
saying
here
make your point.
trying to sugarcoat Nigeria's problem.
I know,
It's too enormous for us to sit down here.
And that's why let's talk
And
about the
using
ASU strike.
words.
Let's talk about the ASU strike.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's also talk about the leadership of NANS. What is leadership of NANS and ASU strike? A lot of people look and say NANS used to be a very active group, but people that are dead today, what is happening? And the ASU strike that is what will be your solution? Let's talk about those things.
ASU strike is as a result of lack of interest in education by our current leaders or rulers, as I like to call them. They decided that they will not fund education and they do everything to frustrate the development of the education
But
system.
the argument is that they don't have money. That's what the argument.
You don't have money for ASU, but you have money for the Republic of Niger to buy SUVs. You don't have money for ASU, but the Accountant General can steal 150 billion and he spends just 1 week in detention and is back out and having fun. You don't have money for ASU, but a governor can get a grant of 6.2 billion naira to create a ranch that doesn't exist. You don't have money for ASU, but you have money for politicians to steal and build mansions, buy, rent private jets and travel all over the country. It's a fallacy. It's a lie that they don't have money for ASU. They have money for ASU, but they're not interested in education. They don't have money for ASU, but you can take money and sponsor one of your child to a UK university.
So what would be your solution? Your solution.
I said funding.
How would you get the funding?
The funding is available. We always have the budgets in place.
How?
In my case, I will increase budget for us because education will be priority.
So how would you increase the budget where, do you know, like the budget, the projection for how much we're going to make this year is about 5 trillion. We're not making money. There's no revenue anywhere.
we're
So
not-
how would you increase the budget
we-
for ASU?
I keep saying this. People kept saying we're not making money, but it is Nigerian people that are not giving money. The people in power are making money. They are doing better and better on a daily basis, and that's where transparent leadership should come in. Because in the midst of we are not making money, a barrel of oil is selling at $100 plus per barrel. The projected amount for sale is around 50. They are not adjusted. So what is happening to the excess? So we're making money, but people who are running our affairs have bankrupted the country. They are doing, as we speak, they are doing very well. It is the same country in which a few months ago, I know we forget these things very quickly, the central bank governor was running for president. A central bank governor, buying vehicles, bribing everybody like everywhere was buzzing. The election alone, the primary elections of the major political parties shows that there's too much money in circulation. But it's just not with the right people. The people don't have access to this money, and that's where we are different. That the people who should have the money should have the government, but the people who are in government are not the people. That's why they rig elections. So, and they throw this out and say, we don't have money, we don't have money. But nobody asks, how much are you making? Why is it that we don't have money? Where is the money you are getting to take care of your own excesses? And the people can't get money to take care of their own little needs.
Okay, so your idea is you believe that education should be solely funded by the government. So can I say you're sort of like socialist in your thinking? You feel
Oh,
government should-
education is so important.
So can I say AAC is a socialist party? Because I want to get your idea.
Yes, we don't hide it. That,
Okay.
we believe in the people and we invest in the people.
I also want to ask now about power. Power supply
As an energy.
Energy.
Yes.
What's your energy idea? What's your energy plan?
My energy idea is to.
And please tell them where they can read your manifesto.
Yes,
That's
yes.
talking, because we're picking things.
Our manifesto is on Sowore2022.org.
Okay.
And it breaks down all of this. My energy idea is to rapidly increase generation through energy mixes. And in this case, gas, where necessary, clean coal, very complex, hydro, all right? And most importantly at this time, we also need to make the energy transition. Solar is a big deal also. I want to see Nigeria in 4 years that has solar farms all over the place. And also want a situation where we break down our energy grid system such that it is no longer a national grid.
Mm.
Yes. We have like regional grids where people can create their own energy generation and transmission systems in regions and sell. We can even retail, where people can sell energy.
But we're selling already.
Well, right now, laws don't allow you to sell.
Okay, you personally, but the government is
not
not
embeds, like itself. We should completely get rid of that progress, so that people can sell at regional and local levels. If I can generate enough power on my roof through solar, I should be able to sell it to a small.
So that means you're portion the national grid.
I will.
You remove it.
It's no longer necessary.
So would you have like regional grid systems?
Absolutely. Regional grid system is solution, and even local government grid systems.
Okay.
So that the most important thing for me is for you to get power. I'm not interested in bureaucracy. This national grid system is part of the restructuring that should have happened a long time ago. But when people are very hung up on this idea of controlling Nigeria to the point that they just believe that if it's not controlled a certain way, it will not benefit them. That's why you have a lot of this very antiquated old systems.
How would you get money to do all of this?
Look.
And how much is it going to cost?
Oh, I think we broke it down.
How much is it going to cost?
We're looking at over $16 to $20 billion in 4 years.
$20 billion for power in 4 years.
To revamp the entire electrical energy system in Nigeria, such that we'll have about 20 million homes hooked up to any form of grid. Maybe whether it's national, regional, my interest is you get electricity.
So how are you going to raise the $20 billion?
There's a lot of interest out there, with credible governments that can bring in money to invest. What you need to keep your eye on is to make sure that you don't fall into the hands of loan sharks and smart allies who will say they want to come and invest in your country and take over your country. but it's a lot of money because
So are you going to talk to China?
these are investments that have a short turnaround system. Let me tell you the mobile telephony industry. South Africa takes out about $13 billion to $20 billion from Nigeria every year just from your cell phone calls. They're happy to do it because it's a money speaker. You can imagine what will happen to Nigeria if there's electricity everywhere for 4 years.
So will you tax telecom companies if you become president?
No, I won't tax them as in because then they'll transfer the taxes to users. But I will ensure that I keep an eye on what they take out of the country.
So you're not going to have like a surplus tax?
Not really.
Because they made a surplus.
I'll be more interested in
numbers were
ensuring
paid
that
during
there's no capital flights, that they invest more in Nigeria.
So how will you ensure that?
Well, we control what goes in and out of our country financially. If the leadership of the banking sector, especially CBN, is not corrupt.
No, but they have institutions in terms of that, but nothing.
I'm just saying. I'm just there was a case that you probably know about where the MTN took over 13 billion out of Nigeria illegally, and even the Attorney General sued them, but the one that settled behind our back and didn't bring back money. It settled everybody. I would get that money back into the country because it was illegally taken out of the country. It was money that should have stayed in the system. It's the reason we keep having all these dollar scarcities because money that ought to stay in circulation in Nigeria taken out.
Let's take more calls.
Compromise.
Hello, how are you? How are you? Hello? Hello? Yeah, quickly, you've got Sowore here. You can ask him questions. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. No, I need to be professional. I need to be professional. Yeah, please. This is more than enough time. Even ask your rent, so if he'll tell you I'm the only person that gives him an hour on national radio, on worldwide radio, international radio.
Yes,
from the UK.
You've gone international.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's talk about terrorist financing.
Yes.
There's been a lot of financing of terrorism. Money goes out everywhere. We've got to be able to track it. You all saw the arrest recently by DSS. What are you going to do as regards stopping terrorist financing?
I want to disagree with you that we can track it.
Why?
We're tracking. We're just not doing something about it.
So what happened?
People who are involved. Powerful people are involved. Terrorism is powerful. It's a powerful international conspiracy against nation states, individuals, and terrorist financing is just like drug trade too. There are powerful people involved. But to say that we have not been able to track is not true. We know the people who are financing terrorists. The Attorney General announced that they have 400 people in detention 2 years ago. None of them were prosecuted today because they were connected, highly connected. Dubai, on the other hand, the UAE, on the other hand, captured some of them and they're in jail. How is it that those who were caught in the UAE prosecuted and jailed?
So what would you do about that?
No, I will make sure that they are prosecuted. And we also...
Do you have the political will?
Oh, yeah. So I do.
How strong is your will?
Sure. Go ask Buhari. Go ask Babangida. Ask Abacha.
No, I'm asking you. I'm talking to you face to face. I'm not talking to others.
Because
how strong is your will?
Because human wills are not something you can calculate in kilojoules, So I would just say, I don't need to brag about it, but I haven't been around.
Let me take another call from Germany. I think this is Germany. Hello, how are you? Morning. Where are you calling from? Is this Germany? Okay, great. Where are you calling from in Germany? Munich. Okay, good. Sure, I talk to him.
How are you? Happy Sunday to you, brother.
Thank you so much. It says, do you think it's going to be easy for you to be president?
It's up to the Nigerian people. We present our values, our integrity. There's no candidate today who can say that he will win the election. You can be sure. Because situations get fluid all the time. And I like the fact that people are saying that the cabals will not let you be. But if you find me a good candidate, let's all confront the cabals at once and disgrace them.
Let's get another call. Where are you calling from? Hello? 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 Okay. We're still trying to get calls in. So 0700 903 903 903. What would you do about the ports?
Our ports?
Yes. About ports, the gridlock and all of that wahala and everything going on there. But let's take this call. Hello, how are you? Great to have you. Yeah. Yeah. Talk to me. Go ahead. I can hear you. Oh, hello. Great to have you. Morning. Talk to me. What's your name? Okay, from Port Harcourt. Great to have you. Talk to me.
Good morning. Happy Sunday, buddy. Yes. That's not true. That's not true. When you talk about the old order, you look at people's records. I know some of you don't accept these things because you are just interested in the moment. Where was he, in the last 8 years that he was governor? Who was he with? Who are his supporters? Who are the people that he worked with? What about his records? Human rights. You have heard about Israel River, where members of myself were killed and dumped in the river. He was governor at that time. Even during NSAS, he was invited to an NSAS panel to come explain what he knew about NSAS. So go and verify. We have verified. We are giving you feedback that he's not what you should be deceived about.
So a lot of people are saying, why are you only saying this about him? Why are you not saying this about the other candidate? What's your take on the other candidates?
You didn't ask me about the other candidates.
No, but that's what people are saying. That generally, you had a pattern of
I'm your guest, and I'm responding to questions you asked
me. Okay, let's take this call. Hello, how are you? Great to have you. That's your own opinion. Your own opinion. No, that's your own opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, not your facts. That's your own opinion. Because if you say something else, if another person comes there, they will tell you otherwise. So it's your own opinion. And listen, this is fair media. You don't force your opinion down people's throat. If you do, you know who you're talking to. Yeah. That's your opinion. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you for your opinion. Yeah. Hello, how are you? Great to have you. Yeah. Morning. Yeah.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not true. I was the one who bailed him out of the
Is
police
it released?
station
How much
in Abuja.
How much has been released? I remember we even talked about it
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and he needed
Yes.
before he needed.
I was actually the one who went to the police station to get him out in Abuja.
Okay. Okay. Children of the rich going abroad, politicians going abroad. So
Yeah.
also tie that with the question on the Papa.
So for Papa, which I mean, it's a shame that we only have one port, like big port, functional at this time. I'll be targeting about 4 ports immediately. Out of Warri, Port Harcourt, Cross River. In fact, it is time that we start shutting down the Apapa port because it's in the middle of a huge population. There's no reason there's no reason to be putting pressure on. And a port, this port should be moved into an industrial area, created in a separate area so that it can stand on its own. We build infrastructure like road, rail to the place, shut this one down, and start rehabilitating Lagos to become a cosmopolitan population and not a population that is dealing with port distractions. So we need 4 different ports, including inland dry ports, so that.
So you're going to resource state on that. You're going to resource state.
Yeah, the cargo planes do a lot of work bringing in the same products these days. So.
No, not at the size of.
Well, not as size of ships, but the frequency makes it easier. What I'm saying is that it has to be a combination to have dry inland ports, cargo airports. That shipping has become so simplified these days. But like I keep saying, there's nothing that is handled by our current leaders that is not complex because they don't know what they are doing. I know you disagree with it.
Okay. Secondly, let's talk about cost of living.
He has a question. He has medical tourism. You see, you cannot legislate medical tourism as long as you don't have hospitals. Focus on building hospitals, primary healthcare systems that work, secondary healthcare systems that work, and even in the tertiary level. The moment you build good hospitals in Nigeria, people will not go out. Most people will not go out to go to hospitals because they are not cheap. But the reason why they go out is they don't have good ones here, and they have access to free money to waste on their health. So we'll make sure that that's.
Where did you do your last medical?
My last medical in Nigeria. I haven't left Nigeria in 3 years. Yeah. I've not been allowed to leave Nigeria.
When are you going to go see your family?
When Buhari releases my passport.
Your passport is still taken?
Yes, the federal government is in possession of my passport.
How is that? I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that been impacting you not seeing your family?
It's the price you pay for being a Nigerian and being committed to a just cause. I could have.
You every day?
We talk. We're a digital family now, so we just talk over the phone. I'm able to see them, but it's very hard, to have kids who are growing up without you. The last time I saw my son, by the way, if he's hearing today, my son turned 14 years old today.
You want to say happy birthday?
Happy birthday, Kome. He'll be happy to hear that. And I've not seen him since 2019. So he was a teenager when I saw him, and now he's like, what is it? Preteen. It's no longer a preteen now. So it's crazy. But this is what the price we have to pay for being citizens of this country. I mean, citizen of Nigeria, and deciding that we want to change it in our lifetime. It will take a toll. Most people, and I use the opportunity to say it all the time, I refuse to change my Nigerian citizenship, even though I spent 20 years in America.
So you only have a Nigerian passport?
Yes, that's the one they are holding. If I had an American passport, I would have left.
But you have an American residency?
Yes, I have an American residency, but no, I don't have American citizenship because I refuse to apply. They were born there, they were born there.
Let's talk about forex, the state of our naira. The naira has been falling like a yo-yo.
Yeah.
What are you going to say about that? How are you going to fix it?
This is a macroeconomic policy that went crazy. In our own case, there are 2 ways that your currency can be strong or even relevant. One of it is for you to be producing. We are not producing. That's the truth. We don't have anything in international markets. Seriously, apart from oil, crude oil, and crude oil is also going out of business. But the most dire situation with our currency is the fact that we are messing with our currency at the macroeconomic policy level. The Central Bank of Nigeria had no business maintaining several currency, naira exchange rates. I'll put an end to all those exchange rates because it's a source. It's a source of fraud. I'm not going to float, but no, I'm not going to float. I'm not going to float, but I will not have 4 or 5 exchange rates controlled by some guys who are flipping out. It's a lie. It's all fraud. Yeah. These guys are just flipping the naira. Yes, it's going to be unified, and I'll put the will of the country behind it. The other policies will go with it. It's one of the reasons why we are going in the direction that I'm not going to float the naira. I'm saying it. I am going to strengthen the naira. If you unify it, that means it's not true. It's not true. So what are you going to Unifying it ensures that you don't give any window for fraudsters to be manipulating your currency. And that's what they're doing. These guys in the CBN and the banking sector are just flipping the naira. It's round tripping. Round tripping is what is killing the naira. I've said it to you several times. I'm not floating the naira. I'm not floating the naira, but I'm also not maintaining, multiple exchange rates of the naira. If you get rid of the multiple exchange rates, what do you think is the real value of the naira? I cannot say, but I think the naira should not be 700 naira to the dollar. Definitely. You know what? Like I said, I won't make an announcement here that will make me. But do you think it should be more than the 430 something? I can't say. I'm just going to be very clear that I'm not going to tell you exactly as I'm sitting in front of you what I think naira should be, but it should not be 700 naira to a dollar. It's this one has become a toilet paper. Okay, somebody says, good morning, blah 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 blah. Somebody's pissed off at your vision. Emmanuel Omo from Edo State says the interview is really annoying. But Sowore is making his point. He's selling his case, and why should you be annoyed when somebody's selling their case? I mean, everybody has the right to come sell their case. Yes. And somebody saying open Skype for diaspora, but you can call the phone lines. It's on WhatsApp. All right. I'm trying to get calls in. I'm even calling people back. Okay. Oh, okay. Hello, how are you? I'm calling you back. Can't you see that? Which radio station called you back? Hello? Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from? From Malaysia, okay. Came from Malay. Oh yeah, go ahead. Talk, Sowore. 30 seconds. Quickly. Time is not a friend. That's your opinion. It's obvious that Rufai is opposed to my candidacy. You know, I have to balance as a journalist. Anytime you hear that I'm going to win, you're like, oh, that's your opinion. It's the opinion of the people that matters. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, international policy outlook. Let me see. Let me take this. Let me take a call. Okay. Although international policy outlook. Hello, yes. How are you? Hello from South Africa. How are you? Good morning. Great to have you. Good morning. Happy Sunday, my brother. Okay. Hey, Benjamin. How are you? Good morning. Yes. And to verify his income, he invested the money from the state in his private personal business. That's verified. And the investment he said he made, which was for no, he didn't bring it. He invested money. You ask me question. You ask me question. You don't want me to answer. You ask me question.
Okay, what else, please? What else?
You ask me question. You don't want me to answer.
All
right.
Sure,
He invested money from the state, $12 million in a company in which he had private family interest. The value of that money is now $3 million. If that money had been invested in education, it would have produced some 300 solid graduates by now. You don't take money belonging to the state into a private company and start saying that, oh, you are making an investment in it. You don't take money, you don't have a right to take public money and invest in your private business. That is fraud. That's corruption. I've verified that. It's not a lie. Which international company? But does his family not have? So what is the worth of the investment today, sir? What is the worth of the investment? You asked me to verify now. I'm on ground. I'm verifying to you now. You have admitted you don't have information. So listen to superior information. You don't. Is a personal, of course, he has interest in the brewery. He has interest in the brewery. He has interest in he confessed to the fact that his family has interest in the brewery. He's a stakeholder, he's a shareholder in the brewery. He is. You can go and verify. But you don't know now. We just told you now. You're arguing. Okay. You don't know.
Okay, it's enough on this argument. Let me take a last call. I appreciate you. It's enough on this argument. We've got a call from United Arab Emirates. Hello, how are you? Great to have you. Quickly as we wrap up. Okay, so how will you unify Nigeria, Sowore?
Nigeria needs to be unified with justice, social, political, and economic justice.
Let me take this final call. Hello, how are you? Final call. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much.
We are still collecting money from Abacha, who died a long time ago. So we should be able to collect back from those who are still alive. They will be made to return every dime they stole. That much I can promise you.
So somebody's saying you're jealous of Peter Obi that you're not
you keep it's not true. Okay, even on this your program today, I talked about Atiku. Yeah. I talked about Tinubu. Yeah. People want to listen to what they want to hear. So we should stop wasting time on saying.
Thank you so much. I promise.
It's fantastic. But please let me use this opportunity to send my profound condolences to your family over the loss of your dad. I know he meant a lot to you, and we'll be there with you. You know, thank you so much for bringing me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. So there you have it. We said we'll give you all presidential candidates. We've done Sowore himself. This is the second time, and in studio in person. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate all of you. And the video is live there on YouTube. You can watch it all over and over again. And on Showore's page.
Yes, we have it on our page.
On Showore's page. So go out there, watch it over and over and over again. I will give everybody a chance. And when the campaign starts, probably we'll still have to.
We'll be back. Yes.
Because it's not even kicked off yet. So
it hasn't started yet.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.